Hello, everyone. Welcome to one more vocabulary class. Today, we're going to talk about professions, and I decided to make this class a little bit more general. So, we're going to see a very common confusion that you have probably already made, which is the difference between work and job, okay? And you will have the opportunity to talk about your profession, okay? That will be the focus today. So I would like to start by asking you to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, okay? If you are not inside our Telegram group yet, please click the link in the description so you can get access to the group because every day after the class I send the PDF there, okay? So you will be able to check the class, the recording, right, with the material, okay? Well done. So let's get started right away. We're going to talk about professions, but the first thing that I would like to say to you is that the objective today is not to give you a list of professions doctor, engineer, architect, artist, actor, actresses, and so on. That's not the focus, okay? Today, I want to give you some structure, some language that you can use to talk about your profession, okay? So it will be really interactive, and I would like you to take notes and try to think about your own profession. That's the objective today. Okay. First things first, as you already know, this is a class, so it's really important for you to focus. So be ready to take notes and turn off all your notifications. Okay. I have already said, but like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet. All right. And let's get started. So, if you follow me on Instagram, you have probably seen that I posted some exercises there as a quiz so you can know the difference between work and job. Okay. This is what we're going to focus a little bit on today. Okay. If you don't follow me on Instagram, please follow milene.ishida. Okay. Let me see the comments here. Hi, Cassio. My pleasure. I'm so glad to have you. I'm so glad you are here. Well done. So let's see here. Work as a noun and job as a noun. Teacher, what is a noun, right? So a noun is um, an object, a person, or an abstract idea. Okay? So in this case, if you think in Portuguese, you could think like substantivo, right? So take a look at here. I got a temporary as a sales assistant at Macy's. Do you know Macy's? It's a famous department store in the US. Okay. Oh, really? That's amazing. What time do we start? At 9 a.m. Oh, great. So here I have two situations. If you think as the word, for example, the word trabalho, right? Because this is how you usually think about work and job. You say, teacher, eu penso em trabalho. So, eu consegui um trabalho temporário. Aí o que você faz? Você vai lá e coloca work. Okay? But that's not the idea here. Because when we talk about professions and occupations, we talk about job. Professions and occupations, we are going to talk about job. Okay, so so she got a occupation. In this case, vocês podem traduzir literalmente como emprego. Eu consegui um emprego temporário toda vez que você. Isso é interessante, porque nós brasileiros, se a gente fizer essa associação, vai ser muito útil para vocês. Ok? I got a temporary job Because in this case, I mean a temporary occupation as a sales assistant. Look, the occupation at Macy's. Oh, really? That's amazing. What time do you start work? Que horas você começa o trabalho? Você não pensa assim, que horas você começa o emprego? Não faz sentido, né? Que horas você começa o emprego? Que horas eu começo o emprego? Não, que horas no seu dia a dia você começa a trabalhar? Que horas você começa o trabalho? So in this case, I'm not talking about your occupation. I'm talking about your general conditions. Okay? So in this case, take a look. Job is a countable noun. I can count. Okay. There are many people, they have 3 jobs, right? They work in the morning in one place, in the afternoon, and in the evening in another place. So I have 3 jobs. Who likes to watch Everybody Hates Chris? This is from SBT. I don't know if they broadcast this TV show anymore. Everybody hates Chris. You have the mother of the family. And she says, my husband has 2 jobs. Okay, that's it. He has 2 occupations. It's accountable now. It means I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Teacher, I don't know what's accountable and countable now. So you go back here in this YouTube channel and you watch the class about countable and uncountable nouns. Okay? So the job is related to profession, occupation, it's something specific. And you can think in Portuguese as emprego. Work is uncountable. I don't count. I don't say 1 work, 2 work, 3 works. Okay, and I'm talking about more the general activities or the context that you work. So when I say I start work at 9 a.m., or the person asks here in the dialogue, what time do you start work? I'm talking about your context, your general activities. So I say work. Is that okay? I want to know from you, Cassio, are you there? Do you have a temporary job? Uh, do you have a permanent job? Or did you have in the past if you are just a student now? Okay, temporary and permanent, we say job. So I'm going to write here. A temporary job, it's something that you have a specific time to start and finish. So for example, you are going to start in January and you will finish in December. Okay, there is a time limit. A temporary job. Or you can have a permanent job. You will work for the company. We don't know when it will finish your contract. Okay, there is no time limit for your contract. Okay. And I want, so you think about yourself. During this class today, you will always be thinking about your context. So you're going to say, teacher, I have a temporary job, or at the moment I have a permanent job, or at the moment I'm not working, but in the past I had a temporary job, or in the future I have never worked, so I'm a student. In the future, I want to have a permanent job. Think about that. Temporary job, permanent job. Okay. What time do you start work? If you work today, what time do you usually start work? Okay. You can say, teacher, I start work at 8 a.m., 7 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m. And then you say, okay, let's move on. So, thinking about what I told you, when we think about job as your occupation or profession or the word emprego, right? This is more specific. And thinking about work as something more general, like I told you in the previous slide, let's complete these 5 sentences, right? So here I have, nowadays it is difficult to find a work or a job. I often have to take home with me. Eu geralmente tenho que levar muito trabalho para casa. Take a look at this person here. The person is really busy, overwhelmed. This is an overwhelmed person. Hi, teacher, what is overwhelmed? Sobrecarregado. You can put your answers in the comments, okay? It took me an hour to get home from yesterday. Daniel got an entry level as an assistant. This one was on the Instagram, in the stories, okay? I leave at 4:30 p.m. and you? So you start in the previous slide, I asked you, what time do you start work, right? Then you told me, teacher, I start work at 8. Okay. So I have it here. Just 1 second. I don't need to copy. Okay. I start work at 10. I start work at 8. And what time do you leave? Então, a hora que você entra, você fala I start work at 8. A hora que você sai, você fala I leave. Okay? So I start work at 8 a.m. Or you say I leave work. Teacher, you have already given me the answer key. Yes. At 5 p.m. Okay, so I leave work. You don't leave your job, you leave your work. I leave work at 4:30 p.m. Then you got an entry level job as an assistant. Look, an occupation, emprego. It took me an hour to get home from work yesterday. I often, this person here, the person that is overwhelmed, right? I often have to take work home with me. Nowadays, it is difficult to find a. It's difficult to find a job, okay? So this is what you need to think. When you think about work and job as a noun, job, you are going to think about something more specific, okay? Profession, the occupation, more specific, or you can think about the word emprego. If you think as work as a noun, you are going to think about something more general, more related to your context in general, okay? So what's your context? I leave at 4:30 p.m. This is your context, okay? It took me an hour to get home from work. Okay, which work? In this case, and that's interesting, the context is the place, the building. Ok, então, number 3, it took me an hour to get home from work. Então, eu levei 1 hora para chegar em casa do trabalho. O trabalho, nesse caso, é o quê? É o seu é o lugar que você trabalha, o trajeto. Tá vendo como isso é uma coisa do seu contexto de trabalho? Ok? I often have to take work home with me. So look at the amount of paper he has there. Okay? It's about his context, right? That's it. So I think if you think about this as job, as emprego, and work, a more general work for trabalho, okay, that will help you not to mix these words anymore, okay? The second part of this class, it's something that you don't do usually, because you forget, and because we don't do in Portuguese, so we translate from Portuguese when we forget. Okay? When you talk about your profession, what you do, you have to use the indefinite article. Hi, teacher. What is the indefinite article? This. In this case, no. The plural, no. Only in the singular. Because take a look how we say in Portuguese. Fulano, o que você faz? Eu sou professora. A gente não fala eu sou uma professora. Em português a gente não fala isso. But in English, we have to say A or N, right? A or N. So you're going to say, I'm a teacher. You're a doctor. She's a nurse. He's an engineer. I always have to use the indefinite article. It's not an option. I have to. Okay, so you don't say I'm nurse. No, I'm a nurse. Take a look at this woman here. And the question is, what does she do? O que ela faz? What does he do? Number one. Let's put numbers. I forgot to put numbers here. Number one, number two, number three. What does she do? She's a doctor. What does he do? He's an engineer. Take a look at the pronunciation. This is something that when we learn at schools, they don't teach us, okay? The pronunciation here, we need to make the connection. You know, when you say to me, teacher, I don't understand when the Americans speak because they speak really fast. Okay, I get. But what happens is they make the connections of the sounds, and this is something that we should learn how to do, okay? So take a look at here. I have a consonant. S is a consonant, right? Here I have a vowel. I'm going to connect the sounds. And in this case, the sound will be like a Z. It's intuitive, right? Like she's a Z, Z, Z. She's a is a. She's a doctor. She's a doc. I don't say she is a doctor. People will never say like that. She's a doctor. She's a doctor. Repeat there where you are. Okay? She's a doctor. Next one. And here we have consonant, vowel, consonant, vowel again. I love that. We connect everything. Is a name. Is a name. He's an engineer. He's a name. Is a name. Is a name. He's an engineer. Okay? Try to do that. We need to link the sounds. He's an engineer. He's an engineer. Okay? Look, doctor here is in the singular. Singular, engineer, singular. But here I have two people. What do? They are painters. Or you can say they are artists. Okay? In this case, I'm talking about the professions in the plural. When I do that, I don't use the indefinite article, okay? So, because A and N I use only with singular nouns, okay? So I'm going to ask you, what do you do? Tell me, I want to know. What do you do? I'm a teacher, okay? And you, what do you do? Remember, always use the indefinite article, okay? So, and something really interesting. Look at how we as Brazilians, our mother tongue, the Portuguese, affects our understanding on how we construct the language. Okay, and that's normal. Okay, we just need to know that in English, it's not the same way. We need to try to change this mindset. Okay, and why am I saying that? Because when I ask this question here, what does she do? What does he do? What do they do? What do you do? I'm asking, o que você faz da vida? Né? Qual é a sua profissão? O que você faz da vida? É isso que eu estou perguntando, ok? Mas em português, a gente gosta de falar assim, ô, fulano, onde você trabalha? E quando a gente faz essa pergunta, I'm sorry here. Quando você faz essa pergunta do onde você trabalha, geralmente você quer dizer o que a pessoa faz. Vocês não fazem isso? Ou será que é só na minha região? Me contem. Porque olha só, é muito comum um diálogo assim em português. Fulano, onde você trabalha? Aí fulano fala assim, eu trabalho na empresa tal. Eu perguntei com onde e a pessoa me respondeu com o nome da empresa. Onde você trabalha? Trabalho no na loja, não sei, do shopping. Aí você fala o nome da empresa para qual você trabalha, tá? In English, we don't do that. If somebody asks you, where do you work in English? The question is about the place. I work in Campinas, I work in Salvador, I work in Rio de Janeiro, I work in the USA, I work in France. They want to know the geographical location. Okay, I work in a factory. I don't say the name of the company. Okay, in this case, you can say I work in a shopping mall because I mean the geographical location. Okay, so when we ask in English, where do you work? You mean the geographical location because sometimes in Portuguese we don't do that. If you want to know the occupation, the profession of the person, you are going to ask these questions here. What do you do? Okay? Let's move on here. So, what do you do? Think about that. Okay? So, as I told you, we use a and n when talking about a profession, always in the singular. Okay? She is a doctor. Don't say only I'm doctor, because when you do that, you will not make the proper connection. Okay? What does he do? He's an engineer. What do they do? They're painters. Okay? Because I have the plural, I don't use a and n. Okay. Let's work now with the word work as a verb. Okay? Here I decided to put here some prepositions. And after we finish this exercise, you are going to make this on, you will receive the PDF in the Telegram group, right, after the class finishes. And then you are going to do this text with your situation, okay? So you are going to do like this. I work, a trainer, Google, okay? What do you have to put here? Let's complete together, okay? I work from a trainer. I work at a trainer. I work on a trainer. I work for a trainer. I work in a trainer. I work as a trainer. A trainer is a person that trains other people. Okay? So in this case, when you use the verb, in this case, work, is not the situation we saw in the previous slides. Work here is a verb. Não é o trabalho. Agora eu estou falando de trabalhar. So when you use work as a verb, you are going to say as a trainer, and then you say your profession, your occupation. Okay? And when you say the name of the company, you use, what do you think? Tell me. When we use the name of the company, we are going to use for. Okay? I work as a trainer for Google. Ai, Titi, mas é estranho isso, né? Eu trabalho como um treinador para o Google. Mas eu tenho que sempre falar que eu trabalho para alguém? No, you can use for or at in this case. I work for Google, I work at Google, I work for Facebook, in the past, I worked for the Court of Justice. I work for the school. I work for, and then you say the organization. Okay. When you talk about the department, so let's say here we have already used as and for slash at, right? When we talk about the department, we're going to use the preposition in. I work in the learning technologies department. I work in the finance department. I work in human resources. I work in, and then you say the name of the area. Okay. I work in physics. I don't know. Okay. Nowadays, I work the head office in California. Head office é a matriz. Okay. You can also think about headquarters. Opa, headquarters. The head office, the headquarters is the most important office, okay, in California. But in the past, I worked at home. I worked from home. It's the origin of your work, from home. This is the same to say I worked remotely, okay? Hello, Instagram. I'm gonna close the live here. We are on YouTube. Please access first link in bio, okay? See you soon. So here, nowadays, I work at the head office. When you say about the headquarters, the head office, it's a specific office in the company you say at. Yeah, we have already used as, for, in, at, and from. Perfect. So here, I'm working on a new secret project. On, I use when I have a specific activity, a specific project. Okay, so I can say to you at the moment, I working on the speaking course. Okay, it's a project I have, right? What are you working on at the moment? Okay, so I want you to think about you. You are going to write this. So thinking about your profession, your occupation. Okay, I work as a trainer. So as a, we say after, in this case, trainer, we put the profession, okay? Trainer is the profession. So I work as a doctor, I work as a teacher, I work as an engineer for, and then the name of the company, the organization, for Google, for Microsoft, for any company. In the department or in the area at the head office, specific office, okay? We use at. I work from home remotely. I work at this moment, I'm working on a new secret project. So on is related to the project. From home, it means remotely. At specific office, in department or area, for organization, and as a trainer. As a, and then your profession. This is how it works. Okay. You can write this text and send it to me on Instagram. I want to see and I can give you the feedback. Okay. Let's do one more exercise before we go. So here I'm gonna give you 3 minutes. 3 minutes, no, 2 minutes. So you can complete with these words here. Okay. I have here part-time, temporary, full-time, permanent, colleagues, overtime, clients, and customers. Okay. Tell me your answers in the comments if that's possible. I'm gonna count 2 minutes starting from now. Okay, let's see. Number one. The people who buy our products are your clients or customers. There is a slight difference between clients and customers. I'm not going to explain this here. I'm going to send a link with this explanation there in the Telegram group, okay? After the class. And let me give you the password of today's class. You know, every class I give you a password so you can open the PDF file. The password today is overtime. Okay? Number two, I can work here as long as I want. Tanto tempo que eu quiser. I have a job. So if you have no time limit, you can work as long as you want. I have a permanent job. A permanent job. Permanent client and customers. Be careful with the pronunciation of customers. Customers. Okay? Your are the people you work with, your colleagues. If you only work 20 hours a week, you work, I think in Brazil it's the same, right? You work part-time with 20 hours, is that okay? Don't remember now. You work part-time. If you work extra hours, you work the password of today's class, overtime. My job finishes next month. It's only temporary. And the last one, I work 40 hours a week. It's a full-time job. What about you? What do you do? Which area do you work in? Do you work part-time or full-time? Are you used to work overtime? Send your answers via direct message on Instagram. I'm gonna give you the feedback, okay? Teacher, what is your Instagram? Milene.ishida. Okay. Do that so you can practice. You will not improve if you just watch this class and you don't study, you don't follow the PDF, and you don't do the homework. This is your homework. Let me write homework here. Maybe it will encourage you more. Okay? Answer these questions, send them via direct message to me on Instagram, and I'm gonna give you the feedback. Okay? I'm gonna say to you what you could improve. Right? Well done. Thanks for being here. I hope you enjoyed the class. I have something really important to say. I'm gonna open a new group for the speaking lab, which is my conversation group. Okay. So, but I don't have the date yet. I'm gonna give this date by tomorrow. Okay. If you are interested in, you can send me a message on Instagram. I have limited places. Okay. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the class. If you have any questions, just drop me a line here or on Instagram, right? Thank you a lot. Have a good day and see you on Thursday, our next class. Okay? Have a good one. Thank you for being here. Bye.